So today we're getting up close and personal with this. It's a sleek and powerful Corsair One i500 PC designed for uncompromising performance in a very smart, compact package. Now, as we all know, first impressions really matter, and the Corsair One i500 certainly doesn't disappoint in this respect. Much like the Fractal North cases that we've featured recently, Corsair's new offering goes down a similar route, swapping out the showy glass and RGB look for something a bit more minimal. And it comes available with a dark wood, which we've got here, or a light wood front panel. They've designed this system to blend seamlessly into any environment rather than dominate it. And not only that, but because it's considerably smaller than most similarly high-spec PCs, you also get to enjoy a bit more desk space. Do not let its smaller footprint and subtle styling fool you though. This PC is a real wolf in sheep's clothing, as we're about to find out. Now, it's worth pointing out, if you haven't guessed already, this PC is not really aimed at those on a tight budget. Let me take the side panel off and show you a little bit more. Now, for ease of filming, and so I can do this in one seamless move, we've already taken out a couple of the screws. One look inside the case and you'll see just how compact this is. In fact, you can't actually see the super powerful graphics card, which is just one of the seriously impressive components packed into this neat and stylish case. So on that note, let's dive into the spec. And we'll start with the CPU, which is an Intel Core i9-14900K, liquid-cooled for optimal performance. It's got 8 P cores, 16 E cores and 32 threads. It can turbo up to a mind-boggling 6 GHz. Moving on to that graphics card, and we've got an Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090 with all the features that we know and love, such as DLSS 3 and real-time ray tracing, to name a couple. Now, although it's neatly packed in there, it isn't a cut-down card either, still boasting the full 24 GB of GDDR6X memory, 16,384 CUDA cores and 450 watt TDP. Now onto the memory, and the new Corsair One comes with up to 64 GB of 6000 MHz DDR5, like we've got in this particular system. So whether you're gaming or creating, system memory certainly won't be holding you back. This is also upgradable with standard desktop memory if you find yourself needing more down the line. And finally, what about storage? Well, with a lightning-fast 2TB PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD, you won't be left wanting in terms of performance. And as if all that wasn't enough for you, with the exception of the graphics card, you'll actually be able to upgrade the components yourself should you need more storage space or memory in the future. And whilst the GPU is technically upgradable, due to the internal design and the fact that it uses a non-standard cooling solution, we do recommend contacting Corsair should you be after an upgrade in the future. Now let's take a look at connectivity, and you've got a surprising amount of options here considering the size of the system. On the front, we've got 2 USB Type-A ports, one 20 gigabits per second USB Type-C, and a mic headphone combo jack. Moving round to the back, and you've got 4 more USB Type-A ports, 3 10 gigabits per second USB Type-A ports for faster data transfer, one 20 gigabits per second USB Type-C port, HD audio connectors in both jack and optical ports, one display port and HDMI output, one 2.5 gig Ethernet, 2 antenna ports for the onboard Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 module, and finally on the graphics card there's 3 display ports, 1.4 and one HDMI 2.1 output for connecting external displays. Now, in terms of aesthetics, I really like the touch lighting that you get here. If you run your finger down the front here, you'll see that the lighting changes. It's really nice and different, and it's great that it blends a bit of tech into the classy wooden front panel. And on the back, if you touch the top of the back panel, you get a super handy light so you can see what you're doing with those ports. Really simple, but very effective, which makes you wonder why they don't all have this. Now let's talk numbers though. The Corsair One i500 certainly flexes its muscles in benchmark tests. Starting out with gaming benchmarks, this machine is a true powerhouse, easily pushing well above 100 FPS, even at 4K with all the settings cranked to full, most notably being Cyberpunk 2077, as we can see here, averaging 140 FPS at 4K ultra detail. The Corsair One i500 excelled on synthetic benchmarks too. Whilst not a real-world application, they do give a worst-case scenario in terms of performance numbers. Again, with this system, however, that's not an issue. These benchmark results highlight the power of the 14900K and the RTX 4090 combo, especially when kept well cool, and that is exactly what Corsair have managed thanks to their impressive liquid cooling system. Now, personally, I think this system looks the business, but for any reason this wooden natural aesthetic is not for you, do not worry. Corsair are planning on releasing a more traditional but equally stylish aluminium finish front panel, so all bases covered. In summary, the Corsair One i500 delivers exceptional gaming performance and handles demanding workloads with ease, and it does so while staying quiet and cool. Whether you're gaming, creating content or diving into AI development, trust me, this PC is a force to be reckoned with. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, make sure you subscribe for more videos like this and check the link in the description to get yours now at scan.co.uk.